In distant lands, in a grand and magnificent kingdom, lived a handsome prince. When the prince came of age, he wanted to find a true princess worthy of him, but this was no easy task. To find the princess of his dreams, he traveled across all the countries of the world. Many princesses from neighboring kingdoms came to the palace, but the prince couldn't fall in love with any of them. His father, the king, also wanted his son to marry a real princess. Years passed, the search remained fruitless, and the prince lost hope, devoting himself to horse riding. One evening while riding his horse, the prince got caught in a violent storm. Rain poured down like a waterfall. Thunder lit up the sky, and the sound echoed across the kingdom. The prince quickly rode back to the palace. But this didn't save him from getting soaked. When he returned to the palace, both he and his horse were drenched and freezing. He finally changed into warm clothes and went to his room. Looking out the window, he felt sorrow for anyone left outside. Then he began to think about the princess of his dreams. Just then, the palace door knocked loudly. When the servant opened the door, they saw a young girl, soaked and shivering from the cold. Despite her tattered appearance, her graceful posture and beauty were dazzling. The girl said she was lost and alone. The servant immediately informed the king and queen. The king, not wanting to turn away someone who came to their door at night, ordered her to be let in. The young girl was brought before the fireplace and warmed herself by the fire. Seeing her wet clothes, the queen asked the servant to bring suitable garments from her own wardrobe. Alone with the girl, the queen asked who she was. The girl said she was a princess from a distant land whose castle had been attacked by enemies. She said her family had sent her away to safety, but she was separated from her guards due to the storm. Because the girl was lost in the dark forest and clearly frightened, the queen didn't quite believe her. But feeling pity, she said the girl could stay for the night instead of sending her out again. The young girl put on the dry clothes the queen gave her. She dried her hair. She drank the hot soup brought by the servant. Just then, the prince, who had heard of the visitor, entered the room. The girl's beauty enchanted the prince. He was very curious about who she was. After chatting with her, he was deeply impressed by her elegance and manners. The young girl told the prince the same story she told the queen. But like his mother, the prince had doubts. He wanted to be sure whether she was a real princess. So he made a plan with the queen. That night, the queen placed a tiny pea under the mattress in the girl's room. She had 3 mattresses laid on top. Then she changed her mind and said, "No, make it 5 mattresses." After 5 mattresses were added, the queen had 2 more added on top. Thus, there were a total of 7 mattresses on the bed. According to the queen, only a real princess would be sensitive enough to feel such a tiny pea. The servant took the girl to her room and told her she would sleep in that strange bed. The young girl had to use a ladder to climb onto the bed. Lying down, she thought, "What an unusual bed! Perhaps this country has such royal customs," and fell asleep. In the morning, the queen curiously asked the girl if she slept well. The young girl politely replied, "Thank you so much for hosting me last night, but I didn't sleep very well. My back hurts, and it felt like I was lying on something hard." Upon hearing this, the queen became certain the girl was a true princess. She immediately told the prince what had happened. The prince was overjoyed to learn the girl he admired was indeed a real princess. He told his father that he wanted to marry her. The king, happy for his son, promised a magnificent wedding. The prince had a beautiful breakfast table prepared for the princess. After breakfast, he offered her to stay at the palace until the war in her country ended. He even sent his army to help the princess's kingdom. Touched by his offer and efforts, the princess was very happy. Soon the war in her country came to an end. Her royal parents came to the palace and thanked the prince's family for protecting their daughter. With both royal families present, the prince proposed to the princess. The princess joyfully accepted the proposal. A grand wedding celebration was held for 3 days and 3 nights. The story of the prince and princess spread far and wide. Everyone spoke of their true love and how a tiny pea started a great story. The prince never forgot the little pea that brought them together. He had it placed in a glass case and displayed it in the most treasured corner of the palace. For years, people who believed in true love flocked to the palace to see the pea. They showed everyone that true love can be found with patience and the right time. And the prince and princess lived happily ever after, in love, trust, and joy.